The experiment worked. Where's my hat? What's this? Wizard's hat. Oh, cool. But it worked. I'm here. I'm here. In one piece. It worked this time. Great. Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Did You Know? Fun facts about fun things, with this series dedicated to crazy facts about space. We're having a ripper time with the series as well too. We've covered so much ground and we've still got heaps to go, as I'll be mentioning in every episode. We've still got quite a few to go, and don't forget there is that 4-part special on the gas giants coming up very, very soon. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get up to date with those episodes, as well as all other things to do with Mr. M and Mr. M Adventures too, because there's just so much coming out. I've got so much planned for this year, and hopefully it'll be all just really, really good. So just make sure you subscribe so you can get all the updates as required. So in today's episode, we're doing revisiting an area that we've touched on in episodes gone by. We talked about Ham the Astro Chimp in a few episodes ago, but this time we're going to talk about his friend ENOS the Space Chimp. Now he is the first chimp not only going into space, but he actually went around the Earth twice. He orbited the Earth twice, so he's the first space chimp to do that as well too. So, who's ready? Are we all ready? Yes, we are, because we always are. Excellent. All right, here we go. I've got a bit of information about ENOS, and we'll get going with the episode structure as we do in every episode. Here we go. So, ENOS, born in 1957, was the second chimpanzee launched into space by NASA. He was the first and only chimpanzee to orbit the Earth. He was actually supposed to go around 3 times, but due to some issues with the mechanical sort of aspects of it, they just reduced it, kept it to 2, which is quite good. Kept him all safe. So, and he's also the third hominoid after cosmonauts Yuri Gagarin and German Titov, who were both Soviet cosmonauts. ENOS flight occurred on November 29th, 1961. So an achievement in terms of science, in terms of what they've achieved in those days when things were very experimental. You know, they weren't sure what's going to go, what's going to happen, and so they sent not only humans but chimpanzees, etc., just to sort of test flight. A lot that was happening. A lot was successful, and a lot was sort of, had to be sort of monitored as they went. Alrighty, so ENOS was bought from the Miami Rare Bird Farm on April 3rd, 1960, and completed more than 1,250 training hours at the University of Kentucky and the Holloman Air Force Base. Remember Holloman? Training was more intense for him than his predecessor Ham, remember him? Who had become the first great ape into space in January of 1961, because ENOS was exposed to weightlessness and higher G-forces, G-forces being gravitational force equivalent, for longer periods of time. His training included psychomonitor instructions and aircraft flights. Psychomonitor meaning that it is the learning and development of organized patterns of muscular activities guided by signals from the environment. So it's a bit more of an achievement for ENOS than Ham. Like I said, in terms of not just going into space, but actually going around the Earth twice. Massive achievement back in those days, in the 60s. But it's time for us to cut to some visuals and for me to explain a bit further in detail what also happened with ENOS and the preparation, etc., for that achievement that he did back then. So if you're ready, let's do it. ENOS was selected for the Project Mercury flight only 3 days before launch. 2 months prior, NASA launched Mercury Atlas 4 on September 13th,
1961, to conduct an identical mission with a crewman simulator on board. ENOS flew into space aboard Mercury Atlas V on November 29, 1961. He completed his first orbit in 1 hour and 28 minutes. ENOS was scheduled to complete 3 orbits, but the mission was aborted after 2, due to 2 issues: capsule overheating and a malfunctioning avoidance conditioning test subjecting the primate to several electrical shocks. According to one history of primatology, the chimpanzee, about 5 years old, behaved like a true hero. Despite the malfunctions of the electrical system, he consciously performed all the tasks he had learned during the entire flight of over 3 hours. ENOS demonstrated that he was careful to successfully complete his mission and that he was perfectly understood what was expected of him. The capsule was brought aboard the USS Storms in the late afternoon, and ENOS was immediately taken below deck by his Air Force handlers. Storms arrived in Bermuda the next day. ENOS's flight was a full dress rehearsal for the next Mercury launch on February 20th, 1962, which would make John Glenn the first American to orbit Earth after astronauts Alan Shepard Jr. and Gus Grissom's successful suborbital space flights. ENOS passed away on November 4th, 1962.
Wow. Well, there you go. Hey, there's the information about ENOS, the space chimp, and what he achieved in his lifetime, and obviously for the advancement of space travel, technology, science, etc. So a lot was achieved back for himself and for obviously for everyone involved in the program as well. Obviously now in today's standards, we're going into space more often. Humans are going to space more often. Obviously, we've got the big space station up there, and a lot more happening today with technology, just getting better and better all the time. So it's just been fantastic. But that was interesting, and I love to do the research and find out about each topic because, before I read it out to everyone, I learn it myself and just go, wow, absolutely fantastic information, and what they achieved back then. But that's all we have time for today. We've come to the end of yet another great episode, and I hope to see you next time. And make sure you all have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Catch you later. Bye. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Hello, hello. This is Mr. Ram. I am ready for takeoff. Out.